Consider the immense gravity of war, an undertaking that demands the lives of many and reshapes societies forever. This profound decision-making process raises a critical question about the very source of such authority. From a libertarian perspective, the concept of legitimate authority to declare war is profoundly restricted. It does not primarily reside in a specific governmental body or a king, but rather stems from the fundamental right to individual self-defense against aggression. War can only be legitimately declared or engaged in as a defensive response to an initiated threat against individual liberty or property, not as an act of preemptive aggression. The core mechanism behind this understanding is the non-aggression principle, or NAP. The NAP asserts that it is always wrong to initiate force or the threat of force against another person or their property. Since war is the ultimate initiation of force, it can only be justified if it is a reaction to a prior, unprovoked act of aggression. This principle applies equally to individuals and to any entity that claims to representing them, including a state. Therefore, anywhere that is not strictly defensive in nature inherently lacks legitimate authority. For individuals and communities, understanding this means evaluating any proposed military action through the lens of the NAP. Does the action respond directly to an initiated aggression? Is it proportional to the threat? This framework provides a moral compass, encouraging skepticism towards broad, unprovoked interventions and emphasizing the necessity of clear defensive justification. This perspective introduces specific criteria for a just war within libertarian thought. Beyond the initial aggression, legitimate authority also implies a clear chain of command that is accountable to the individuals whose lives and resources are being committed. It suggests that any declaration of war should ideally arise from the consent of those directly affected, rather than from a detached governing body acting on its own perceived interests. This emphasizes decentralization and individual consent as vital elements. Ultimately, the legitimate authority to engage in war is not a blank check given to any institution, but a narrowly defined right rooted in defense against aggression, guided by the non-aggression principle. By understanding this foundational concept, you gain a robust framework for assessing the moral legitimacy of any conflict, always prioritizing individual rights and the avoidance of initiated force.